I don't really go out of state at all. Although I wish I have traveled to other states in order to encounter different cultures, but sadly I don't. But I know most of us have encountered different cultures by our jobs. For an example, you could be working at a restaurant just serving foreign food, right? I used to work at a restaurant that serves different food than what American food would be. There'll be Asian food, there'll be Indian food, there'll be so many different kinds of food, and most of us could possibly, most likely, encountered other cultures by working in those settings. I know 90% of us have. As for me working at an Asian cuisine place, I've encountered a lot of customers that are from not originally from the US. And I think that's where the complication comes in, because when it comes to them trying to communicate with me, it's hard for me to communicate with them, because both of us, we aren't able to communicate properly to or meet each other's needs, because I'm speaking in my language, they're speaking in a different language. They don't understand my language, I don't understand theirs. That's where it creates a gap for me and that customer. And I'll feel bad because I would want to meet their wants and needs, although I can't understand them. But I do try my best to talk in a soft tone and be very nice about it and be patient with them and try to understand what is it that they're trying, what kind of message are they trying to convey to me? What is it that they want me to know? Like, what are needs that are needing to be met in that moment? So typically, how I usually handle this kind of situation, again, I do be patient, so that's how I handle it, by listening, being there. Or sometimes I tell them, like, give me one moment, like I feel like doing like this, or like, I know sometimes it's like probably hard, because I know like me talking in a soft tone and looking at them, or being very like conveying like in a soft way to them with my body language, being slow, being with my voice tone. It's so that I don't offend them in any way or get them a wrong impression of me. I don't ever want anyone that doesn't understand me to feel like I'm like pressuring them, or like if I'm rushing them, or if I'm getting impatient with them. So I do typically just change my voice and tone towards in a calm way, so that they don't feel overwhelmed. But I know we're both gonna either way feel overwhelmed. I either way try my best to go get either my manager or someone else who could understand them, so that I help them in that way. Typically, when I see or encounter the way how another person from another culture acts and speaks, I typically can't judge them, or at least I don't want to judge them, because again, I don't think somebody's culture should be defined by one person, or just the way how a person can be when they're in a bad mood, or because we don't know what other people are going through. So it's really hard for us to define what is it that they do that ties to the culture, when really we all could be completely different from one another. And obviously there's stereotypes, that plays in. Sometimes my managers or my other employees could probably say that they're that in that person's culture they can be pretty mean, rude. They can come off as, you know, like they're the customers, so like they'll mistreat you because they think they own a place and stuff like that. I mean, again, that could be really just stereotyping, and we've all grown up stereotyping other cultures because of the way it was represented to us and showed to us, you know, the way that other people would say, like, just so many examples, but a lot of stereotyping becomes racist. So it's like, it's either way not a good thing to just be judging them in that way. So it's, for some of us, you know, we've all had to grow up with stereotypes of other cultures, the way how we should see them, and the way we grew up, you know. Like me, I'm Hispanic. Usually some of my family members follow the tradition where the women are the one that's like cleaning, right? While the males, they just do the yard work and other stuff. But I think that could also be the same for other cultures as well. And then for me, I'm supposed to know how to speak Spanish. For some of us, it's unfortunate. Like me, for an example, I don't know Spanish, and I wish I have, but I was a late speaker, so there was complication with that, and I had some brain trauma, so that kind of changed that as well. I mean, I do try now, of course, but sometimes I feel like I sound silly for trying to pronounce certain words because I feel like I don't speak or I can't do certain ways. Like I know most of us, when it comes to learning Spanish, it's us using our tongue as well to be able to pronounce a word correctly. But I feel like if I were to learn so many languages, I feel like especially for Spanish, it probably would have helped me be able to communicate with other people, other customers. Probably would be able to help me out just so much to be able to communicate with anyone without any problem or without anything that is just blocking my way of being able to communicate and say and whatever I want, and to be able to listen and hear what other people want. You know, it's very nice when communicating with others and new people. So sometimes communications would be unfortunate to others because just our languages, the difference in that is what compacts that. And I feel like if we've all were able to learn each other's languages, it probably would have helped us a lot. But not all the time are we all able to learn other languages because of other circumstances. But there's nothing wrong with that.